नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायश्च भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया जय. So we will be today let's say glorifying vasant, the spring, the climate, because it signifies something which we'll discuss as we proceed. So we'll take this verse from Bhagavatam, Shrimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 15th chapter, 2nd verse. Tanmadhavo venum udhirayan vrato gope grinadbhi swayasho balanvita pashun puraskritya pashavyam avishad vihartu kama kusuma karam vanam. Anyone would like to recite the verse?
I'll try, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please, Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhu, something. Tanmadhavo venum udirayan vrato goper granadha bihi svayasho balanvitah pashun purasukriyatya pashavayam adiva avisad vihatu kamaha kusumakaram vanam. Sorry,
Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Adhisundari Mataji, Pooja, anyone wants to give it a try?
Prabhuji, something is coming and
Okay, Prabhu.
on top
I
of
will
the
try.
screen, Prabhu. I don't know whether it is for me only.
क्या आ रहा है प्रभु?
Okay.
For example, on top of translation, right? After enjoy, there is a big rectangle which is hiding the translation part.
Oh,
Yes, now it is down. Yes, now it is
Okay,
down.
let me again try
Yeah,
share.
now it is okay, Prabhu. I mean, but I can see those gray shaded rectangles. Yeah, now
Yeah.
again it came, Prabhu.
That is
on top
actually
of,
the participant list. It shouldn't be actually blocking the screen.
Okay.
Let me share the screen again. Yeah, Mataji.
Yeah, no, it's okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Madhavo venum udirayan vrato gopir gananadipsva yasya balavita pashun purusakrita pasavanya
Avishad.
avisad brihantu kama kusumkaram vanam. Sorry, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Let me reshare my screen. Okay. So, Pooja, would you like to read the translation?
Yes. Translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thus desiring, वापस आया.
अच्छा. Okay. अभी भी आ रहा है क्या? अभी आ रहा है?
अभी है, सामने है उसके साथ. अभी बड़ा हो गया.
Okay. Something wrong. Yeah.
And thus desiring to enjoy the pastime, Lord Madhava, sounding his flute, surrounded by cowherd boys who were chanting his glories and accompanied by Lord Baladeva, kept the cows before him and entered the Vrindavan forest, which was full of flowers and rich with nourishment for the animals.
Very good. Jai. ये अभी भी आ रहा है क्या? आपको दिख रहा है अभी भी बॉक्स ट्रांसलेशन के ऊपर?
अभी नहीं.
Yes.
Okay, so when you share with audio and video settings, if you have this pop-up of participants or something, अभी मेरा participant pop-up है, so you won't, if it is audio video sharing mode is on, then you would see a this gray box or something. अगर वो disable कर दिया तो gray box जैसा नहीं पूरा transparent हो जाता है. Interesting. वसंत पंचमी कुछ नया सीखने मिला. Himanshu Prabhu, would you like to take the purport?
Yes. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Srila Sanatan Goswami has explained the various meanings of the word Madhava as follows. Madhava normally indicates Krishna to be the Lord, who is the consort of goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. This name also implies that Lord Krishna descended in the dynasty of Madhu. Since the spring season is also known as Madhava, it is understood that as soon as Lord Krishna entered the Vrindavan forest, it automatically exhibited all the opulences of spring, becoming filled with flowers, breezes, and a celestial atmosphere. Another reason Lord Krishna is known as Madhava is that he enjoys his pastimes in Madhu, the taste of conjugal love. Lord Krishna would loudly sound his flute as he entered the forest of Sri Vrindavana, thus giving inconceivable bliss to all the residents of his hometown, Vrajadhama. These simple pastimes of playfully entering the forest, playfully playing on the flute, and so forth were performed daily in the spiritual land of Vrindavana. Hare Krishna.
Hari bol. Thank you, Prabhu. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So there is one interesting part in this purport which I wasn't aware of, is about the Madhava. स्प्रिंग जो वसंत ऋतु है उसको भी माधवा करके बोलते थे. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द रीजंस. जैसे कृष्णा आते हैं, spring kind of manifests in Vrindavan forest. It starts exhibiting all his opulences. So that the spring is known as Madhav is something interesting. So obviously when spring is known as Madhav, this season has to be very special, right? Prominent among the other seasons. So we will have a quick look at this. Today coincidentally happens to be the first day of spring, which is also known as Vasanta Panchami. So this day is also very special for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas because it is a day of Vishnu Priya, Vishnu Priya Devi, Srimati Vishnu Priya. Then it is also the appearance, considered to be appearance day of Saraswati. So we do Saraswati Puja. Then Pundarik Vidyanidhi's appearance day. We have Raghunath Thakur's appearance day. We have Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's appearance day. We have Raghunath Das Goswami's appearance day. So many appearance days. So many kind of auspicious Vishwanath Thakur's disappearance day. So kind of an auspicious day. And also during this month or during this season of Vasant, we also have like a couple of days later we would have one more we would have Panchatattva Advaita Acharya's appearance day. Also this in this season we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who appeared, which I think is around 18th of March. Then we have Nityanand Mahaprabhu, which is like 14th of Feb. He had appeared. So we have like three of the three of the Panchatattwas who appeared here. Then also I think it is around the end of March we have Srivas Pandit also his appearance day. So we have one more appearance day. So 4 of 5 we have during this season. I'm not sure if Vasant extends in the month of April. In the month of April, we have the 5th Panchatattva Gadar Pandit's appearance day. Then also we have Bhakti Siddhanta Saryu Thakur, which is around 21st of Feb. We have Jagannath Babaji, 3rd of March. So and so many acharyas. So this month is like completely packed with all the auspiciousness, all the auspicious days and occasions. So on this day, we should one should celebrate the coming of or welcome Vasanta Ritu by offering Krishna many different types of flowers, leaves, and especially the fresh sprouts of the grass that come out during this time. So that the idea, it symbolizes the life or new growth, fresh life or new growth. So on this day, as you see in the image, the temples are decorated with yellow color. The deities look very stunning, very beautiful, and with hundreds of dozens of sparkling yellow flowers, which are all over the deities. They are decorating the deities. So we can say yellow is the color of the spring. So we will have quick references from other shastras which talk about the preeminence of or significance of Vasanta Ritu. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam 5:22-3. The original cause of the cosmic manifestation is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. When great saintly persons fully aware of the Vedic knowledge offered prayer to the Supreme Person, he descended to his material world in the form of sun to benefit all the planets and purify fruitive activities. He divided himself into 12 parts and created seasonal forms, beginning with spring. In this way, he created the seasonal qualities such as heat, cold, and so on. So when Supreme Person of Godhead, he expanded himself into different seasons, or he created different seasons. He started with spring. So again, this talks about the significance or importance of the month, or no, I want the climate of spring. Srimad Bhagavatam 2:6-24 talks about how significant it is in rituals. So it says, for performing sacrificial ceremonies, one require sacrificial ingredients such as flowers, leaves, and straw, along with the sacrificial altar, and a suitable time, spring. So spring is also considered very auspicious for performing yagyas. And we know this particular verse from Bhagavad Gita 10.35. He says, Krishna says to Arjuna, "O hymns of Samaveda, I am the Briyat Sama, and of the poetry I am Gayatri. Of the months I am Margashirsha, and of the seasons I am flower-bearing spring." Prabhupada writes in the purport, the month of November, December is considered the best of all the months because in India, grains are collected from the field at this time and the people become very happy. Of course, spring is a season universally liked because it is neither too hot nor too cold, and the flowers in the trees blossom and flourish. In spring, there are also many ceremonies uh, commemorating Krishna's pastime. Therefore, it is considered to be the most joyful of all the seasons, and it is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So here Prabhupada speaks about two things. One is this particular season has uh, uh, has to speak about many beautiful pastimes of Krishna or Krishna and Radha, and Prabhupada says that it is a representative of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Jai. Vasant Rutu ki Jai. So besides this reason, there is one more, or there is one particular reason basically, which basically uh, uh, is the primary reason for the preeminence of spring over other seasons, and that is basically it is of the Radha Krishna's beautiful pastime. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 4:2-4, so it is said, my dear friends, just see how Krishna is enjoying the season of spring with gopis embracing each other, embracing each of his limbs. He is like amorous love personified. With his transcendental pastime, he enlivens all the gopis and entire creation. With his soft bluish black arm and legs, which resemble blue lotus flowers, he has created a festival for Cupid. And this is from Gita Govindam 1.11. And this season also, as it is dear to Krishna, Madhava, it is also very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, undoubtedly. So it is mentioned in again Chaitanya Charitamrita 19.83. The 6 seasons, especially spring, seemed present there. Seeing the garden, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Godhead, was very happy. So he becomes very pleased during the season of spring, Vasanta, because that reminds him of Krishna, and the environment. The environment looks very beautiful, very enlivened with all the beautiful flowers and beautiful aroma flowing around in the wind. So Rupa Goswami says in his Stavamala, Stavamala, so he says, Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumara, Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumara, Saurabha Sankata Vrindavana, Tata Vihita Vasanta Vihara. O handsome son of Nanda, O Lord, who enjoys springtime pastimes in the fragrant flowers of Vrindavan, all glories to you, all glories to you. Hari Bol. Jai. So this indicates that we would be kind of touching upon few pastimes of Radha and Krishna during this particular which happened during this particular season. So there are many pastimes that are being kind of encapsulated within this month of spring. So in one instance, Srimati Radharani, who was by then married to Abhimanyu, and they were living in Yavata. So she was visiting her parents who were staying in Barsana. So it is said that Acharya said that she usually visits her parents during 3 times in a year. So one is during the springtime, Hari Bol, and during her appearance day or birthday, and during the Durga Puja. So these are the 3 days. So spring festival, her appearance day, and Durga Puja. So so the Acharya say that when she comes, she would stay for a few days, and sometimes she would even spend few months in Barsana. And when she comes, even her sakis and manjiris would also leave their in-laws, and they would also move to their parents' houses. And because all these gopis were out from their were out in Barsana, they were in once, let's say they were out from the watchful eyes of their in-laws, so out of the radar. So they were free to move around and meet Krishna. So that is the main thing. They wanted to meet Krishna, and this is very true for Srimati Radharani, and we know why. So in Yavata, in Barsana she doesn't have to worry about anything. But there, back in Yava or Yavata, it was we had Jatila and Kutila, who were always having a watchful eye on Srimati Radharani. So they would always be so any evidence they would find, they would try to link it back to meeting of Radha and Krishna. So so she has, but I mean, having said that, she has still to be very careful, because we know about rumors, right? They spread very fast, and her even Radharani's image would get tarnished when people start speaking about she's already meeting Krishna, she is meeting Krishna, and so on and so forth. So her reputation was at stake. So she has to be very careful. So there is one beautiful incident when Srimati Radharani was when she was very small, and she hadn't yet met Krishna, but there were already rumors. She hadn't yet met Krishna, but there were already rumors that were going on, which says that they both are meeting. They both are already meeting, and this rumor started because they were people have seen them exchanging sidelong glances. यहाँ से ऐसे छुपके से तिरकी नजर से देखना, so sidelong glances. And we know that Krishna used to go to forest to herd the cows, and when he used to come back, all the gopis would they would probably in the balcony or out in the veranda, they were doing the household chores, and when they would see Krishna, they would go into a in a still, they would be still, and only their eyes would move, and the eyes would follow Krishna, and Krishna's eyes would follow gopis as he would pass through them. And probably for Radha and Krishna, the duration of side glance would have been long, and that is why people have started already spreading rumors about them, that these guys already met. So it is very interesting that during this time, when she was very small, she was praying that let these rumors be spread. So usually we pray, "Aisa mere sath kuch bura no," but Radharani was praying that let the rumors be spread. So it is said that in the month of not in Bhadra, so it is like in Chaturthi, the 4th day of the Shukla Paksha, which is the bright fortnight in the month of Bhadra. If one sees a moon, it is said that we will get some elate. So spiritually, Shastra said that we should stay indoors and we should not go out and see the moon. But on this night, which is the fourth night, Chaturthi of the Shukla Paksha of the Bhadra month. So on this night, Radharani used to pray to the moon. So she would say, "Oh beloved, oh beloved of the stars, O moon of the fortnight in the month of Bhadra, O Lord, O moon making tidal waves in the ocean of loving desires, I respectfully offer water to you, and I bow down before you. I pray that by your mercy, false rumors of my love affair with Krishna will spread, and by the spreading of such rumors, I will attain my fulfillment of my desire. I pray that by your mercy, false rumor of my love with Krishna will spread, and by spreading of such rumors, I will attain the fulfillment of my desire." So this is from Rupa Goswami's Padavali. So if we see that she was very small, very young, and so young, she was small, and she had this special type of love for Krishna. So it is like she has seen Krishna, they have exchanged some glances, but they have not actually met each other. It is because the society won't allow them to meet. So Acharya says that this is that stage wherein the lovers are this is that budding stage. Budding stage means the very initial phase of love, wherein the lovers, they want to meet, but they are unable to meet, or they are prevented by the social norms. So you, so you can meet, you want to meet, but you cannot meet. So that is why Radharani used to pray. She used to pray to this moon, so that ill faith comes upon me about rumors being spread that me and Krishna are already meeting. So she thinks that at least under the pretext of these false rumors, let my name be associated with Krishna. That was a thought process. That even though it is a false rumor, under that pretext, at least my name be associated with Lord Krishna. And when that happens, he will walk down to me, he will come to me and speak and say, hey, what's going on? What is this, all this stuff that people are talking about? And Srimati Radharani thinks that this will be the beginning of a relationship. How deep, right? So this is what Radharani used to think when she was small. She had a desire to meet Krishna, but couldn't meet Krishna. So coming back to our pastime, so Srimati Radharani is now in Barsana, and she is visiting family, and on this occasion, Krishna comes to meet Radharani disguised as a woman or as a gopi. So every pastime he he tries to come disguised so that he can actually penetrate that that watchful eyes of the elders and the villagers. So this time he got dressed himself as a gopi who was very learned in astrology, yoga, tantra, and mantra. So already there were talks, and Krishna comes disguised. He thinks of this, and there are already talks among the gopis. So तुमने सुना ये कोई गोपी आई है और उसको भविष्यवाणी और काफी सारी चीजों में काफी ज्ञात है. And Krishna also had parrot spice, and from one of the parrot spice he got to know that Radharani just having a walk, and she had just come out of the palace, and then he quickly appears over there dressed as a gopi, as an astrologer. So Radharani could actually see through his disguise, but just to humor him, she asked, "Oh, astrologer, knower of all the things, what place of residence gives supreme bliss?" To which Krishna replies, disguised as gopi, that the covered pastures of Krishna, that gives you the supreme bliss. So she says, okay. And she again continues, what is the essence of life for all living beings? And to which Krishna replies in a very sweet voice, it is the singing songs of Krishna. Then again Radharani asks, my dearest relative or my dearest gopi, fellow gopi, so tell me what bestows incomparable auspiciousness? To Krishna again replies, it is a desire to obtain Krishna. And then again she asks, Radharani asks that, oh, my dear female astrologer, what is the most enjoyable thing? To which Krishna again in a feminine voice he replies, the most enjoyable thing is the beauty of Krishna. And then she finally asks, my dear astrologer, what is the ultimate attainment in this creation? To which again Krishna smiles and replies, it is a company of Shri Krishna. So this was their small beautiful pastime during the morning of spring when she had come down to Barsana. So on other occasion, she had in the spring again Krishna appeared at Srimati Radharani's doorstep, again disguised as a female doctor. And usually Krishna has to disguise as a female because that is the best way, right? Where he can get closer to gopis as a disguise, as a lady, as a gopi. So you will see this pastime repeated again and again, but with different varieties on different occasions in spring and so forth. So the Acharya say in this particular occasion, so they said that in a very melodious voice that hypnotized the gopis, this female doctor, he offered complimentary consultant to Barsana's princess. usually बोलते यार किसको चाहिए free consulting, but Krishna's arrangements are already done. So this was appropriate during this time, because on that particular time Srimati Radharani was suffering from high fever, and it is said that this high fever was due to this anguish of separation. She was angry that she was separated from Krishna, and because of that separation she got high fever. And so Krishna appeared over there, and all the gopis said, yes, please, we need you, please come. And they took her to the inner chambers of Srimati Radharani, and Krishna, disguised as female doctor, he greeted Srimati Radha. Interesting, he greeted Srimati Radharani by touching her feet, and and then doctor told Radha that she was doctor was told that Radha was actually suffering from lover's heart attack. So she was having some pain in the heart because of separation from her lover. So the doctor said, do not worry, we will take care of the situation. So he proceeded to take the radar on the pulse of this gopi, of Srimati Radharani, and then now he has to send out all the gopis, right, to get their private time with Radharani. So he sends out all the gopis to bring in some certain items, like dampened towel, some sandalwood, some kind of jadi booties and all. And so when the gopis are out running, they are like worried about Srimati Radharani. They are going here and there trying to find these items. They heard a voice, suddenly a voice from Srimati Radharani calling out in alarm. So they are hearing Radharani shouting, oh my dear friend, this doctor should be taking my pulse to prescribe medicine for my love, from my love torn heart. But alas, she's not only touching my wrist, she's touching all my limbs as well. Help, oh gopis, oh please help. Very interesting. And so all the gopis, they get worried. Oh, what is this? Why she shouting alarm? What has happened wrong? And they quickly rush back into Radharani's cabin, in Radharani's room, and only to find that her queen is completely cured by this new doctor's treatment. Hari bol. So now Radharani is completely well, no issues. She screamed, but that was the end of her pain. Hari Hari. So these are the few beautiful pastimes that happened. So one more pastime, maybe not very particular to Krishna himself, but to his form as Nar Narayan. So Nar Narayan, we know that they were munis, they penance very hard, and Indra, seeing anyone doing austerities penance, he would be in a he would feel himself insecure, right? So as usual, his right hand, let's say Kamdev. So he asked Kamdev to create some problem in his penances, austerities, kuch bhang kar do karke. And he went over there. And when Kamdev went over, he created apsaras, very beautiful apsaras, ekdam sundar. And when he created, they were all dancing in front of Narayan Rishi. But Narayan Rishi did not seem to be disturbed at all. And then he opened his eyes, he smiled, he greeted them, and he invited them all inside his kutir. So when they all went inside, they were kind of, and Narayan was very politely, he was politely asking them many things, which made them more scared and nervous. And they also felt ashamed. Arey yaar, ye kuch galat to bande se panka to nahi liya. And at that point, something interesting happened. So before that, I mean, when we see this Narayan, he was not at all affected by this desire of lust during, and these apsaras were very beautiful. I mean, no one would have been able to control the desires, but Narayan was not at all affected by it. So it kind of gives us an assurance, or gives devotees the assurance that they are I think someone is, yeah, gives devotees the assurance that they are under the protection of Krishna when they serve. I mean, protection from the impact or the effect of lust when they take shelter of lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So okay, so Krishna, Narayan then did a very interesting thing. So from his body, from Narayan Rishi's body, more holy asparas, many beautiful damsels, they got manifested. And it is said that their beauty, they were like, they had fascinating beauty, they had enchanting fragrance. So much so that bewildered the minds of these female and male companions of Kamdev. And because it kind of their heavenly opulence was like overshadowed by their beauty. And then they understood that उन्होंने गलत इंसान से पंगा ले लिया. And then they bowed down and begged for forgiveness. And then the Lord offered one of these apsaras which were manifested. They were manifested from his own body, and he offered to take one. So while they all had incomparable beauty, the devatas selected one. Anyone wants to guess who is she? Who's this apsara which devatas selected, took her back to Swarglok and heavenly planets, and she became like the head of apsaras in one sense, if you may say. Any guesses?
Is it Menka or Urvashi?
Hari bol, Urvashi. So she's Urvashi. So we know the spiritual significance of Urvashi now from this pastime. So basically the idea is Narayana could, and this pastime happened in spring, and Narayana could, I mean, his beauty or the apsaras that came out of his body kind of overshadowed the beauty of the other apsaras. So we can understand Narayana was so attractive. But gopis were not attracted to Narayana. So they loved only Krishna. So Krishna, looks like Krishna is more attractive than Narayana. So Narayana, we know that he has 60 qualities, whereas Krishna has 64, or Acharya said that, right? And what are these four extra qualities? So this is Lila Madhurya. Lila Madhurya means Krishna is full of pastimes. He is full of beautiful pastimes. Then he is Bhakta Madhurya. So he is always surrounded by his devotees. Then he is Venu Madhurya. He can play beautiful notes on his Venu, hypnotizing notes. And then it is Rupa Madhurya. So it is said there is no one beautiful, no one opulent than as comparable to Krishna. So these are the four qualities that separates Krishna from Narayana: Leela Madhurya, Bhakta Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, and Rupa Madhurya. Now, interestingly, Radharani has only 25 transcendental pastimes, and from these 25 transcendental pastimes, she can control Krishna. Mahabhav, Jai, Srimad Radharani ki Jai. Now, in this particular Rasa Leela, so Krishna disappears and appears as a 400 form, and Krishna disappears, and we are seeing that gopis are actually, we are aware that gopis are searching for Krishna in every place, and when they see Krishna manifests himself 400 form, and when they see Krishna in 400 form, very beautiful form, very attractive form, so they join their hands, they bow down to Krishna, and they ask Narayana, have you seen Krishna anywhere? कहीं कृष्णा को देखा क्या? तो नारायण लाइक यार ठीक है उस तरफ जाओ करके. So it is they I mean the beauty, the incomparable beauty of Narayana could also not attract gopis even a bit. They are so much attracted by gopis. So Rupa Goswami says that Krishna attracts the mind of goddess of fortune, but Narayan fails to attract the minds of gopis. Therefore, he concludes Krishna is the original Bhagwan. Very interesting. One more interesting aspect of saying that Krishna is the original Bhagwan. So Krishna is able to attract even the wife of Narayan, but Narayan is not even able to attract the gopis. Hari Bol. So in Bhagavad Gita 11.54, Prabhupada says, elsewhere it is said, Yatra yatirnam Krishna khyam param brahma narakriti. So the Supreme Personality Truth is a person. His name is Krishna, and he sometimes descends on this earth. So quoting from some Shastra, Prabhupada is mentioning this in purport. So Krishna is the original Brahman. That is what we were talking about, right? So moments after gopis left Narayana, we know in the past time that gopis saw the two footsteps of two people, and then one disappears, and they were saying, oh, this particular gopi is very lucky, so he must have lifted her up, and then he must be walking. So this particular gopi, which we know is Radharani from different acharyas, acharyas references, commentaries, and reference to different shastras, and one of that is Garga Samhita, which I'm aware of. So that also clearly explicitly calls out that it is Radharani. So moments after Gopi is left, Radharani appears to the scene, and again she sees, she comes close to Narayana or Krishna in the form of Narayana 400 form. And when she sees, when Krishna now sees Radharani, he kind of loses his two arms out of the four arms, and he regains his two arms. So he is thus establishing the preeminence of Radharani above all the other gopis. So it is said that her desire to see him is so intense that Krishna was unable to maintain his four-hand form in her presence. So this is how intense the desire of Srimati Radharani to see Krishna. He could not disguise himself. He had to lose his two arms automatically. He had no control over himself. So there is similar pastime. So when you see, there is a similar pastime in Chaitanya, about related to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when you see this pastimes, few pastimes which 5,000 years back, it also exhibited the 500 or 550 years back in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. So so one similar pastime is like Alarnath temple, so which is near, somewhere near Jagannath Puri, down the south, if I'm not below, south of Jagannath Puri. So there Chaitanya, I mean, long story short cut, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was desperately if I may say, suffering in separation of Krishna, and there he was looking for Krishna in the forest, and there he found this deity of Alarnath, which is in Brahmanagari, and then he saw the four-handed form of this deity over there. We can see that it is four-handed form, but his desire to see Krishna was so intense that again here the deity cannot hold on to his form of his four-handed form, and he again lost his two hands temporarily. And that is where he could see this deity in 200 forms. Same pastime, I repeat it again. So and when it happened, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became so much aesthetic that he lost his consciousness. He fell on the ground, and he was so aesthetic that the rocks over there, they melted, and they kind of got some kind of impression of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So right to the right, you see that big rock. That is the rock where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he fell unconscious due to ecstasy, and and the rock melted. So you can see different, and if you closely observe, it is in the form of a human. Very blood, not very accurate, because obviously melt ho raha to exact shape mein to milega nahi. So the rock, this is one beautiful pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So so there are many different types of actually Ras Leelas. So we have seen Ras Leela, actually we've seen Sharad Purnima, right? So there are different types of Ras Leelas. So one is the Nitya Ras Leela, which actually happens every night. Anyone wants to guess what may be an example of Nitya Ras Leela? Sunil Prabhu, Aparna Mataji, I think you should be able to answer this.
Example of Nitya Ras Leela, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu. It is your second home, Prabhu. That place is your second home.
Haribol, you mean the play Vrindavan, Prabhu?
Yeah, in Vrindavan. And do you recollect any?
Govardhan?
No, Prabhu.
Nidhivan.
Nidhivan. Hari bol. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Nidhivan.
Yeah.
So Nitya Leela, right? Every day, every night, there is a Ras Leela that happens in the night. So that is Nitya Ras. I mean, there are many different type of Ras. These are the four prominent. So next is the Vasantika Ras. So Vasantika Ras is basically which happens in Vasanta Purnima, the full moon of the spring month. Then we have Kartik Ras, similarly in the month of Kartik, full moon of Kartik, and Sharadiya Ras, which are all over in the full moon of Sharad, where we call Sharad Purnima. So here is an interesting note that Acharya says that in Vasantika, meaning the spring, during that rasa, Srimati Radharani disappears from the Krishna's vision, and in Sharadiya Ras Leela, Krishna disappears from the Radharani's vision. So this is an interesting note that Acharyas have put forward. So this is the springtime or the during the springtime when we have this rasa dance. So in one of the pastimes, and I mean, it happens during the, I mean, even in Sharadiya rasa dance we have seen it happens during the whole night of Brahma. Though to our eyes it would look like just one night, but actually in then one night, time within time. So Krishna actually manifests one more time, which is as long as one night of Brahmadev. So, and they are all attended. So in one of this, and when this is being done, they are all attended by all the demigods and all. So this is again this happens eternally. It is not that it just happened once, it happens eternally in Prakat Leela. And at a very sacred place, holy place known as the Tirtha, known as Chandra Sarovar. Sarovar means lake, right? But this was a forest. So where did lake come over? Why it is called Chandra Sarovar? So there was no lake over there previous to Krishna's performing the beautiful pastime or the Raslila with the gopis. So it was just forest. And how did it become into Chandra Sarovar? That is what we'll talk in this pastime. So so during this entire night of Brahma, where they were performing pastimes, as usual, all the gopis, all the devatas from the higher planets, they came over there, and they were watching this pastime from the top. So in their flower aeroplanes, and they were showering flowers, and the sky was filled with showers. So wherever looking, it was just flowers are being showered from the top. And there were also sound of the kettle drum to very rhythmic that would suit or enhance the beauty of this or improvise, or I would say they would kind of act as more stimulant to this mood of Krishna and gopis. So it kind of vibrated across Vrindavan. So when you see from the top, it Acharya say that when they looked from the top, from their perspective from the top, it looks when Krishna and all the gopis were dancing, it looked as if it is like a brilliant sapphire stone in the mid of a golden band. So sapphire is a blue color gem. So sapphire is here Krishna is referred to as a blue sapphire, and gopis are the golden. So from the top, you can see one shining gold, bluish personality, and then rest all golden personalities. So it looked like on a golden band, wristband or something, you have this blue shining sapphire. So Rupa Goswami says that the dancing reached, when the dancing reached the climax, Krishna, he enjoyed the pleasure of gopis by embracing them, by caressing them, by glancing lovingly at them, and at the same time displaying his very playful smiles. So among these devatas who were watching, and who were the person who was most affected was Chandradev, because he was not only watching, he was also able to perform or serve during this Ras Leela. And what was his service? That he was illuminating the Ras Leela. I mean, during the and mind me, this is not just one night. This is one night of Brahma. So the whole night. So for this long time, he was serving them by illuminating the Vrindavan forest, and it looked so beautiful. So because of this, because of relishing this Ras Leela for a long time, Chandradev he started experiencing the top aesthetic symptoms of love of Godhead. So in Nectar of Devotion, chapter 28, it is mentioned that there are 8 symptoms to aesthetic love. So one is becoming stunned, then perspiring, then standing on the hair standing on the edge of the edge. Then we have faltering of the voice getting choked up, trembling of the body. We have change of bodily colors. We have shredding of the tears, and then it is devastation. So one of these is shredding of the tears. So so this happened to Chandradev. So while he was experiencing this beautiful nectarian pastime Ras Leela, he started shedding tear. He was shedding not only just he was shedding torrents of tears. That is what Acharya says. He was shedding torrents of tears, which eventually came down to the earth and created a kunda, a lake in this forest, and that is what we people refer to as, we all refer to as the Chandra Sarovar. So this is Chandra Sarovar. So Rupa Goswami gives special significance to Chandra Sarovar. He says that every day after Radha Rani and Krishna, when they were they would every day visit Chandra Sarovar after they concluded pastimes in Radha Kund. So Radha Kund, usually I think they used to go by 12 noon, and here again they would, from there they used to visit Chandra Sarovar every day. Chandra Sarovar ki jai. So even today, people relish these beautiful pastimes, and they decorate the temples in Vasant Panchami. So there are different temples, and in they are decorated. And if you talk about Vrindavan alone, there are probably around near to 10,000 temples that are present over there right now. And these temples are uh, uh, they have their particular unique way of celebrating or welcoming the Agman, welcoming the coming of the spring. But if you see across all these temples, the most common thing is yellow color. So we will talk about the Radha Raman temple, which is very popular. We all have been over there. So on this particular day, on the first day, which is today, Vasanta Panchami. So the deity Radha Ramanji, he wears a greenish yellow colored dress, and on this first day till the last day of Holi, so during this time, which is approximately 14 days, so pujaris, what they do is they offer brightly colored powders, which we know as gulal, right? So they offer gulal to the deity. So they just give a dab of gulal, powder is lagate, dab of gulal. They don't throw the gulal on the deities. And during that time they sing songs about Holi, and that is accompanied by some musical instruments. And so during these 14 days as well, in the evening, when and these instruments which were played, the song that is usually during the Rajbhog, the afternoon lunch of the deities, that is being offered. So similar in the evening also, when the deities are also offered different varieties, which is like saffron colored barfi or different sweets, and and the significance is these all different bhogas, more or less they are all again yellow in color. So yellowish theme during the spring month, right? Hari bol. So Radha Raman ji ki jai. So in Garga Samhita, in the 4th canto and 12th chapter, there is particular mention over there. So it is said, and this is about Holi, because now we saw spring, and Holi is one of the very popular festivals in spring. So and we know it is the color of it's a festival of colors, but it is also filled with many beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So in Garga Samhita is said that there are 9 Upanandas. Upanandas are like, they are like 9 different what to say personalities who are very handsome, very learned, very noble, very wealthy, very charitable, and they had many children, and they had all 9 daughters. So 9 Upanandas, 9 daughters. And it is said about his 9 daughters that they were like demigods in the previous life, who had gone through very strong penances, and they had love, devotion for Krishna, that they got an they were blessed to be born on this earth and participate in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Not only that, they were as good as relatives of Krishna. Upanandas were related to Nanda Maharaj. So once they were all hanging out, and they saw Krishna, he was ready to celebrate the great Holi. So these gopis immediately sing them, Radhani ko batana zaruri hai. So they all rushed to Radharani, and where Radharani was sitting over there, she was angry. I mean, we do not know the reason. Acharya has not mentioned the reason, or the Samhita does not speak about the reason why Radharani was angry, but we can guess at separation from Krishna. We have seen that earlier as well. ये कृष्ण बहुत तरसाता है, तड़पाता है. So और and हम लोग कृष्णा को बहुत तड़पाते हैं, which is very unfortunate anyways. So she was filled with anguish, or she was filled jealous. Maybe probably she must have heard about something with other gopis, and but they came to her and they started speaking to her. So the gopis said Oh moonface, banana tree thigh, sweet as honey. Queen Radha, please hear these pleasing words. Shri Krishna, the ornament of Raja, has come to your forest to celebrate the holy festival. His eyes rolling in the intoxication of glorious youth, his black locks resting on his cheeks, and his shoulder covered with a yellow shawl. He walks here, the anklets tingling on his reddish feet. Then the other gopi said, wearing glittering armaments, yellow garments, a crown like the rising sun, and shark earrings that eclipse the lightning. He is splendid and glorious as a monsoon cloud and a rainbow. Another gopi said, eager to enjoy the rasa dance with you, his body is adorned with red kunkuma and a sprinkler in his hand. He fixes his glances on as you stay nearby in his courtyard garden. So the gopi says, oh Radharani, please give up your jealous anger and celebrate the glorious holy festival. Go at once and get water mixed with red dye, sandal paste and flower pollen. Red dye means kumkum. So इतना सब कृष्णा के बारे में तारीफ करने के बाद how is it possible that Radharani would continue or hold on to his anger? So Radharani quickly she threw away her anger in a desire to celebrate Holi with Krishna, and she grabbed some red powder, which is kumkum, and with all the gopis. So initially within the premises of or the vision of the villagers, they were very decent looking girls. Kumkum सब हाथ में छुपा के सब ऐसे अपने दुपट्टा में सब छुपा के they were all walking around very silently. But as they crossed the border of the village, they all started throwing gulal. Abhi kaun dekhega abhi, and they started singing loudly. They were all shouting holy holy ho ho holy. So they were all starting shouting loudly, and they started singing the glories of Holi, and because of which it created a kind of a cloud, red cloud, and the red cloud started moving towards Krishna. And Krishna, when he saw the red cloud, he couldn't understand. ये क्या है ये इतना सब red cloud क्या है, मतलब पूरा धुआं से red cloud क्या है? He couldn't figure that out. And just as lightning flash, it surrounds the cloud, right? Lightning. So similarly, these Vraja gopis, which are hidden within this red cloud of Kunkuma, they quickly surrounded Krishna, held him tightly with his both hands, and with handful of this kunkuma powder, they started anointing his face, so coloring his face and all. And then with sprinkler pichkari, the kumkum water, they drenched him completely. So Krishna tried to call his friends for help, but his friends couldn't figure, because it was all red cloud now. They couldn't penetrate the chakra view of all the gopis and help their friend. So Krishna then expanded himself into as many as Vraja gopis, and they were all the Vraja gopis were with Krishna, and they were enjoying exchanging this gulal with each other, the kumkum powder, the sandal paste, applying sandal paste, and so on. So one acharya poses this question that how long this is past. I mean, when we hear this, though we have shut it down, but when we hear the discriminate, feel like ये कितना दिन चला था करके और कितना time तक चला था. So acharya said that how long this this particular pastime it extends. So to which he answers that when Krishna plays, time has no role to play. So when Krishna plays, time has no role to play. So it is very difficult to estimate how long this pastime is. So so then when then they all played together, and then they washed themselves in Yamuna. So Yamuna became reddish color as the stream was of Yamuna was passing around. It collected all the red color and flew and it started flowing ahead. And then after that they got dressed again, and after cleaning the dress, and they went to respective homes. So they were again, because they had enjoyed this beautiful pastime, they were all shouting, singing, all the gopas and Krishna and the gopis and Radharani, while they were going to the respective places, and they were shouting. They were again throwing some gulal in there, the remainings of gulal whichever they might have probably had. होता है ना, होली में भी हम लोग खेलते हैं, थोड़ा सा गुलाल पैकेट किसके पास बचा रहता है लास्ट में नहा के आने के बाद मुंह पे लगाने के लिए. So they were all enjoying. But as they approached the houses, Acharya says they approached the houses, they started lowering their voice till they stopped, क्योंकि अभी रडार में आगे बढ़ोगे कि पूछेंगे किधर गए थे, क्या कर रहे थे. So just to avoid any suspicion, they stopped singing and they walked as if अरे क्या कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, पता ही नहीं types. So this is one beautiful pastime of Srimati Radharani and Krishna during the time of Vasanta. So we will close this with beautiful poem from Padavali by Govinda Das Thakurji. So this is verse 87. So it starts as Ritupati Brigata Nagara Shama Radha Ragini Sangini Bhama. So it again talks about the springtime. So it says, with beautiful, playful Radha at his left, the dark hero Krishna enjoys pastime in the springtime, the king of seasons. Every limb is now covered with showers of sandal water, red powder, and fragrant kunkuma. Gazing at Krishna, who is more enchanting than the Kamdev, hundreds of teenage girls are overcome with amorous desire. They sing graceful songs in the festival of Holi. Some bring cloth, some bring necklace. Their bodies are filled with bliss. Some bring finger rings, some bring flute. From far away, some come singing the glories of Holi. So there is one more verse, but we'll skip that. We will go on to the 88th song, which kind of continues with your theme. We'll start from the fourth part of the 88th song over here. Her moon-faced gopi friends were fulfilled with wonder. Gathering together, they all attack Krishna. Trembling, they run to Krishna, snatch away his flute and flee. Bhali, Bhali, the Kartalas declare, and there is a great element of ho, ho, holy, ho, ho, holy. The ground is now red with powder. The young trees are red. Every bee moving on the ground in and water are now only in one color, red. And so this poet says in the last verse, the water is red, the lotus are red. Even Govinda Dasa's heart is now covered with red, the red color of love. Hari Bol. So with this we'll conclude, but we'll go with a short video before we do our conclusion. So let me reshare this so that we would be able to hear the audio and the video. Just stop me if you are unable to hear the audio.
Swagatam Krishna, Sharanaagatam Krishna. Swagatam Krishna, Sharanaagatam Krishna. Madhura Puri Sadana Mriduvadana Madhusudana Iha. Swagatam Krishna, Sharanaagatam Krishna. Madhura Puri Sadana Mriduvadana Madhusudana Iha. Swagatam Krishna, Sharanaagatam Krishna. Madhura Puri Sadana Mriduvadana Madhusudana Iha. Swagatam Krishna, Sharanaagatam Krishna. Gogadapta Sulava Supushpagandha Kalava. Gogadapta Sulava Supushpagandha Kalava. Kasturi Tilaka Mahima Mama Kantananda Gopagandha. Swagatam Krishna. Mushtikasura Chanura Malla Malla Visharada Madhusudana. Mushtikasura Chanura सुलक्षण देवा मर्दन कलिंग नर्तन वपुल रक्षण सकल सुलक्षण देवा शिष्ट जनपाल संकल्प कल्प कल्प शतकोटि असम पराभव धीर मुनि जन विहार मदन सुकुमार दैत्य संहार देवा
हरि बोल. So Vasant Panchami ki jai. Wish you all a happy Vasant Panchami. So with this we end today's discussion. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and all goes to His Holiness Indramanand Swami Maharaj. So he has a series of videos on YouTube where he shares this pastime, even more pastimes, very beautiful pastimes in a much more beautiful way. So I have referred to his classes as well. इंद्रमन स्वामी महाराज की जय, वसंत ऋतु की जय, वसंत पंचमी की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल, राधा कृष्ण लीला की जय, हरि बोल.
हरी हरी बोल. प्रभु जी आपकी जय हो, आपकी जय हो.
हरे कृष्ण.
So a very nice class, very informative. You collected information from so many different sources, also very apt to the time, and so many pastimes of our beloved Shri Radha Krishna. Very difficult to choose which one. You know, the pictures were also so beautiful, and then of course the conclusion was amazing. So Prabhuji, for me, you know, from the beginning, where Sri Radharani is happy to let the rumor spread, was very exciting and interesting. And then how you compared Lord Narayana and Krishna, and then the same that Krishna is Cupid is no match for the Supreme Lord, and then at the same time how Lord is also helping the devotees come over the lust. And then of course all others, very beautiful. So thank you very much again for your time and the efforts that you put in to get us this. You love Krishna, Shri Radha Krishna, and that shows. You were enjoying the entire class yourself. So yeah, so many congratulations again. So I would request first Ati Sundari Mataji to share her thoughts.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु, हरे कृष्णा. वसंत पंचमी महामहोत्सव की जय, संत
जय.
गोपेश्वर प्रभु की जय,
प्रभुपाद की जय.
प्रभुपाद की जय. वेरी नाइस प्रभु, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वेरी वेरी नाइस क्लास. स्पेशली दैट स्लाइड्स, पता नहीं आपने कहाँ से एक एक पिक्चर, मतलब वो पिक्चर देखे एंड और आप इतने अच्छे से उसको एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे एक एक पास टाइम को, तो मुझे ऐसा ही लग रहा था कि जैसे वो पूरा पास टाइम हम लोगों की आंखों के सामने चल रहा है. तो बहुत सुंदर प्रभु. तो बहुत, मेरे पास तो नहीं है कुछ ज्यादा कुछ कहने के लिए, बट आपने बहुत एक एक पास टाइम को, क्योंकि मुझे बहुत टाइम तक तो पता ही नहीं था कि हम इस्कॉन में बसंत पंचमी सेलिब्रेट करते हैं. तो बस आपने बहुत एक एक मतलब उसका जो मतलब पास टाइम और उसका क्यों हम सेलिब्रेट करना चाहिए क्या है, और मेन पार्ट जैसे बताया. और मैंने भी सुना था प्रभु कल कि रूपा गोस्वामी ने उसको भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु में ये भी, जैसे हम लोगों को सभी वैष्णव फेस्टिवल सेलिब्रेट करने चाहिए, उसमें एक वसंत पंचमी भी है, करना है सेलिब्रेट. तो बहुत सुंदर प्रभु, आपने बहुत सुंदर से अच्छे अच्छे सारे पास टाइम बताए. तो और प्रभु मुझे बस ये पूछना है, ये जो अभी लास्ट आपने वीडियो शेयर की, ये अभी आज के तो दर्शन नहीं है ना? ये
नहीं माता जी, पहले के दर्शन है.
पहले के हैं प्रभु. लेकिन मैं और मेरे प्रभु शॉक हो गए कि जो वृंदावन के जो मतलब डेटी हैं और राधा श्याम सुंदर, उनका ड्रेस आज बिल्कुल एग्जैक्टली वही उनका वो
हरी
है
हरी बोल.
तो हम लोग इसीलिए शॉक हो गए कि ये आज के तो नहीं हो सकती वीडियो, बट काफी सेम श्रृंगार आज का भी उनका है.
जैसे बोला ना माता जी, जब कृष्णा व्हेन ही प्लेज हिज पास्ट टाइम लीलास, देन टाइम हैज नो रोल टू प्ले. वैसे आगे पीछे कुछ भी हो सकता है. हरी हरी बोल. थैंक यू माता जी फॉर शेयरिंग दैट.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्णा.
And especially हिमांशु प्रभु जी, I'm sorry just to forget you. आपने वो जो मॉर्निंग का जो भजन था, अमेजिंग भजन प्रभु, वो देख के मुझे अपना बचपन याद आ गया. मुझे याद है कि जैसे जन्माष्टमी हम लोगों के लोकेलिटी में सेलिब्रेट होती थी जब हम लोग छोटे होते थे, तो सारी जो ओल्ड लेडीज जाके मंदिर में कुछ 6 दिन पहले मतलब स्टार्ट कर देते थे वो लोग कीर्तन. तो उसमें ये वाला भजन हम लोग बहुत सुना है बचपन में, तो बहुत सुंदर भजन था। थैंक यू सो मच। हरे कृष्णा।
हरि बोल। हिमांशु प्रभु की जय।
जय।
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So now I request Sadhu Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Himanshu Prabhuji, Santosh Prabhuji, Santoshji. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I mean, if you ask from my heart, I'm saying and I'm praying on this very auspicious day of Vasant Panchami that I have only one desire in my life, that the way I spent my last 1 hour approximately, I want my whole life after life. I don't know Krishna and Radharani, because I mean, in your association and whatever I heard from you and that bhajan Himanshu Prabhuji recited all of a sudden, because it was not much planned. Mamta Mataji had to take that bhajan and then suddenly the plan changed. So all of a sudden, like the beautiful bhajan, and I don't have the words for you. So, what was not there for the soul there. So I did not know Vasant Panchami could be so amazing in our life one day. I mean, my best class, favorite class that I have heard till today. So thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you for your blessings, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji, you have so much love for Shri Radha Krishna, and that's why you're getting so much emotional. And yes, you are right. You know, as we get more and more every time, you know, we feel that this is what we want, right? And definitely you will get the mercy, Prabhuji. And yes, the class is the best. That's correct. Purna Mataji, request your thoughts as well.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। एंड हिमांशु प्रभु, मैंने पहली बार वो शायद मैंने गाना सुना जो
Same
आपने
here, yeah.
गाया, एंड इट वाज रियली लाइक वेरी गुड प्रभु जी, क्योंकि मुझे आपने इमीडिएटली विदाउट एनी प्रिपरेशन आप सीधा आए एंड यू आप एक्चुअली दैट एक्चुअली शोज कि आप भगवान के लिए आप ये गाना समर्पण करते रहते हो। तो वेरी नाइस प्रभु जी, थैंक यू सो मच। मुझे एक्चुअली आपका वो ये देख के ऐसा लगा कि वी शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर सेवा एनी टाइम।
Yeah,
सो
Hari Bol.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी। और संत गोपेश्वर प्रभु जी, लाइक आई वाज नॉट नोइंग कि वसंत पंचमी भी मतलब एक इम्पोर्टेंट इवेंट है अपने वैष्णव इसमें। थैंक यू फॉर द क्लास, बहुत अच्छा क्लास था, एंड एक्चुअली आई गॉट टू नो टुडे ओनली। सो थैंक यू सो मच। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. I believe Mamta Mataji, I think, could not join.
Yep, she couldn't join.
So we'll stop the recording, Prabhuji, and then turn on the cameras.
Sure, Prabhu, sure. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Thank you everyone for your blessings. Hare Krishna.